What's going on, sports fans? You can listen to Athletic Intel on Google, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen to ad-free on Amazon Music.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Cal here, back with another episode. It's going to be a solo episode here. I'm sorry for the lack of content. There's been a lot going on as far as kids, work. It's been a long go-around, but I'm back. A lot happened this past weekend. I mean, a lot's gone on in sports just in general. I mean, start with the Women's World Cup. We had a lot of requests to follow the Women's World Cup, especially with all the hype around the U.S. women's team. Sadly to say, they were a big disappointment. Even now, they have parted ways with their coach. It was like a mutual thing. So, obviously, the U.S. just big disappointment in this whole tournament. But continue to watch it because, I think women's soccer is one of the most underrated sports out there to watch. I honestly think it's better than watching the men's sport, but it was a great tournament. I think I watched all the way up until the third place game when Australia lost to Sweden, which Sweden was a big upsetting factor in the U.S. campaign. That team balled out, bro, and I ain't gonna lie. Sweden does its thing. I watched a couple games go to penalties, and that was very fun to watch, especially at 7 a.m. A lot of hype to get ready to go into the workday. But yeah, the U.S. Women's World Cup happened, or is still happening. I can't remember if the championship game was played or not. Baseball still kicking off. We're getting into that downward stretch of playoff baseballs around the corner, which will also be pretty good. Tonight, well, not tonight. You guys won't hear this until maybe tomorrow, but I'll be attending the Rangers D-backs opener tonight. It's ASU night, which will be pretty sick, I guess. I don't know. Go Devils. I don't know, man. The D-backs fell off over the past couple months. It's just been slowly declining. The Dodgers are taking over the West. I don't think anyone's going to be able to stop the Dodgers. As far as the West goes, I think they will lock up that division pretty easily. The East, Braves are still kicking it. Not many teams can mess with us right now. We get into another sticky situation there in the AL East, but I don't know, man. Baseball's playoff picture looks pretty well right now. I just think that there's a couple of teams that I'm not sold on. Milwaukee, not really sold on. I think the Cubs have a chance to make a push to maybe win the division, but I think the Cubs might have a better postseason if they make it. Philadelphia is not really catching the Braves. San Francisco, wow. I have not looked at the West standings in a while. Yeah, Dodgers aren't going to get caught. Well, the AL Central, I don't really care for. I don't think any of these teams have what it takes to win a championship. The AL West, though, Houston and Texas are going to go into a battle going into the last couple months here. And honestly, I don't know what team's better. It's because there's days that the Rangers, and I'm hoping that tonight is solidifies me and saying that they can secure the West, is really just the same reason with the Astros, is that there's different games of one day they look dominant, but then the next time they go out and play the A's and they somehow give up a lead and lose a couple games that they shouldn't have. But given that they have a pretty easy division as far as the Mariners and the Angels, I'm not even going to mention Oakland. Like, it's just like those two teams will always run that division. I kind of hope that it's the Rangers. I'd like to see them make a better postseason push. I don't know. That's just me. But we will jump into the AL East. Baltimore. I feel like the people that hate on Baltimore right now, you don't really care about baseball. It's cool to see these young kids on a team that everyone counted out in spring training is making this push. And it's just, I don't know, man. Trailing them is the Rays, which everybody knows about the Wander Franco situation. And I hate that has to take away from their great season. They do the investigation, do whatever you need to do. It's crazy because, like, I'd say, like, early year, I'm praising Wander Franco for the weird little toss to himself to throw the runner out at first base, and we watched him get to these milestones that these greats reached, but he reached at such a faster pace. Losing a talent like that sucks, but I mean, like, the situation that he put himself in is disgusting, first off, but just disgraceful that it has to happen to that Rays team that just seemed to not catch a break on anything. I mean, like, injuries or media stuff, like, it's just always something with them, and it's just always there, and it sucks. They've had a really, really good season, and, like, honestly, they have a chance to win the East. We don't know what these Baltimore kids can do in the next couple months. They might fall off, or I don't hope so. I hope that they win, but they could just steamroll everybody from here on out. It's honestly it's a toss-up in the East. I want Baltimore, but the Rays and all that they've been through, they should probably figure out a way to do it. But I mean, now that you have lost a star player, we'll see how that goes. But I think that they can make do with what they have, and that's just how the Rays have always been. Will they win another World Series this year? Probably not. But if they get into postseason baseball. Another thing from this weekend was the Little League World Series, which I got to watch a lot of on Saturday. I'm weirdly a really big fan watching the Little League World Series, especially when they bring the other countries into it. I think it's a very fun tournament to watch. Little League sucks. I mean, the umpires suck. Some of the kids suck. It's just what it is. But it's actually fairly fun to watch, and I think every year it's one of the sporting events that I'm more excited for, especially for, like, one point I want to take my kids out to Williamsport just to go watch that, because that'd be pretty cool. But I want to also go out to Oklahoma City to go watch the softball tournament too. Like, there's just bucket list sporting events that, like, you want to watch, and I feel like that the Little League World Series is, like, a pretty decent one. They had the Little League World Baseball Classic, Little League Classic game that they always play every Sunday Night Baseball during the tournament. Phillies ended up winning that game. Guy breaks out Victus looking pencil bat. It's pretty cool. I mean, like, it's fun watching baseball become more personal and seeing these guys be able to be who they want to be, even if it's something that they're trying to push. It's whatever, but it's fun to make baseball fun. I did through TikTok see that there was some kid, I don't know what team he was on, but he was throwing like the biggest fit ever. And it's something that like I like watching Little League and you see, and it's like, damn, like, wow. But some of the kids, like, they cry, get over it, pick themselves up, go back on the field, what you're supposed to do. But this kid, don't even know his name, didn't even want to dig into it because I don't want to slander the kid. But it's honestly, this is kudos to the coaches. Kids throwing a fit. I want to say he like rolls out or something like that, flies out. He like throws a fit running down the line, slams his helmet down, gets into the dugout. And then next inning goes out to his position at third base and he's like on a knee crying still on out there. And like, my thing is that this is on national television, so you're not gonna make me look like a fool. I completely understand it. Not even through warm-ups, the coaches pulled the kid, put somebody to replace him, and just make him go sit on the bench. Now, I don't know how long they made him sit on the bench for, but I think as a coach trying to teach these kids that that is not the way to act. That was the greatest thing for that kid in that instance. It's like, I don't give a shit what stage we're on, or if you're my starter, I'm going to pull you, and that is that. And that was pretty cool to see on the coach's part. But beyond that, I mean, I'm just excited for this tournament to keep going and see who wins the ultimate tournament, which is probably going to be decided here within the next week. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but honestly, on ESPN, if you got nothing really better to watch, give it a watch. I mean, you've got kids, have them watch it, have them want to like live up to something, because it's a pretty damn good thing. Another event on Saturday night was UFC 292. I didn't get to watch all of it, but your boys parlay hit. Shout out my younger brother Zach. Confirmed the picks, locked it in. Shout out Sugar O'Malley. Dude went in there, did his job, put that dude on his ass. Champ, bro. That's Arizona grown. That dude's a champ. That is the coolest thing ever. Honestly, I wish I followed UFC more to like whatever, but as soon as O'Malley goes to fight, I gotta tune in. It is crazy to see where he's been over the past like 6 years, but UFC 292, there was some pretty decent fights in there. Something we haven't talked about on here, but we wanted to talk about was the Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. fight, which that was a brawl. One clip that always stuck with me throughout this whole thing was Spence opened his mouth and he was talking about how he's more durable than Bud, and man, that comment came back to bite him in the ass, bro. Terrence put on a clinic, and like there was points in that fight where you just knew that it was just destined for him to win. And I don't really understand what happened, because I mean, you watch a bunch of Spence's fights and like I guess there's a slight decline and like there's a lot of factors into it, but like I'm excited for a rematch, but I don't think there's gonna be a difference. Sorry to say it. If you're a Spence fan, I get it. Dude can fight, dude can box. He's masterclass at what he does, but he got outdid by Bud. Undisputed champ, bro. And we said it here, bro. We were talking about like just the different styles at one point, and honestly, I don't even know what gave it away. What big first takeaway? Eminem walking you out? That's crazy. I don't know if there's a better rapper to have you walk out, and for him to be a fan of you makes it so much better. And honestly, that was the beginning factor. I'm like, Spence doesn't got a chance. Then as soon as that bell rang, man, it was just like, Spence just didn't have it. Spence looked out of it, and honestly, I want to spend more time digging into boxing so I can actually digest this stuff, but like, I'm excited for that rematch. I don't think that the rematch is going to happen as soon as we would like it to. Bud's going to fight whoever. Bud's going to fight the next guy to make himself better, and that's that. I mean, I came across some like crazy like comment of like somebody. I don't want. It wasn't Charlo, but it was God. It was. I can't even think who it was, but like they still talking about how Bud hasn't fought anybody, and it was just like crazy to me because he just destroyed Spence, and like it blows my mind that like that conversation still comes up to people, and like I feel like that's with any sport. Someone becomes like really good at what they do, and they're like, well, they haven't really played against anybody. They haven't done this against this person, and just like that stuff just needs to stop. He did what he needed to do, and he's an undisputed champ, and that's just in that world that is heaven sent. So congratulations to Bud. I want to see that rematch. That's going to be a great rematch, but I'm honestly just going to be more excited for any fight that Bud is a part of. One of my last topics for this week, or at least this episode, I might have one later this week too. Football. We are all at that point. We're all getting our fantasy drafts together. Preseason started. We're at the point football's back, and honestly, not very excited about it. As a Cardinal fan, I mean, like there's a lot of things to be excited for. I think football itself is in a good spot to where a lot of these teams are going to be competitive, but it just so happens that my team is bottom end of the totem pole. We had a little bit sign of light of beating Sean Payton and the Broncos in the first game, but I'm going to be honest with you. Preseason, I'm happy about the L for Sean Payton over his like outlandish comments over this past offseason. I mean, like I feel like there's as a coach and as who he is as a coach, I felt like he shouldn't have opened his mouth as much as he did in this offseason. But it's a new team, new light, you do whatever you want to do. I think I've done like 2 fantasy drafts by now. Had one last night. Shout out my guys. I like getting into fantasy and everything. I just really wish that I could be excited about the actual season. I'll be happy to watch playoff football here in a few months, but everybody's going to be very excited about the next 18 or so weeks, and I'll follow it. I'll keep up with everybody. I do have a couple Jets players on there. I'm kind of sold on their offense. Hopefully they do what I hope they do. Even if Garrett Wilson doesn't and Aaron Rodgers can't figure it out, I have Breece Hall in one league, so that's pretty lit. The other dynasty league, I got like Tony Pollard and like Kyler Murray as my quarterback, which is like it's not ideal with anybody. I mean, like dude's not going to be out there. I think I got like Brock Purdy, Matt Stafford, and like Anthony Richardson, which is just like, that's a gamble in itself. But I mean, it's going to either hit or it's not. But that'll be some. I think a lot more. Probably try to be better about doing some parlays for football season. Also with basketball season coming around too. I mean, we'll get into that stuff too. Same game parlays. Those things were really, really hot at one point. Just gotta get them out of the spotlight a little bit, you know. I don't know. Yeah. Well, we'll get into the football stuff. We'll get into the basketball stuff in a second. We'll get more parlays over football. I mean, I already have one of like division winners, and like I would do that right now, but I'm already not liking my picks, and I can't buy out of it. But that gives you a hint as to how bad my picks were when I did it like 3 months ago. But football season being around, that's going to be fun. College football is going to be great. I think, and honestly, if we get into the Pac-12 stuff, man, like the big merger of everyone going to the Big 12 and then the SEC. It's just that stuff kind of sucks because it's just like the Pac-12 is not an actual division anymore. So any ASU, U of A, UCLA, all these games don't mean anything right now. And so like it just kind of sucks that that's where we're at with that division. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, even like it's very excited, but like I mean, like there's just a lot of factors, and I think maybe in the next episode I'll cook up a full thing as to why I don't think that it's the best for football, but it also might be the best for college football. But I think it only benefits college football, and that's the thing that's kind of bothering me about it, is that like I don't think that a lot of these teams or like a lot of these schools, as far as like the March Madness tournament or the Women's College World Series or the Men's College World Series, like there's some factors in there that are that really just benefit the football side of this. And I if you allow me to do my own research so I'm not biting my tongue on a lot of these things, I feel like I have this strong argument as to why it is not the best thing for college sports. One more thing before I get out of here, and I mean, thank you guys for rocking with us this whole time. I really, really appreciate you guys. We have basketball season coming up as well as football season, and I honestly would like to say that this is more of a basketball podcast than we are a football podcast. So it is very exciting for me to see that the Suns have the third most televised games, and it's going to be great. I feel like that, like the team that we got is something that we should showcase, and I feel like that it is something for us to build on. There's the FIBA World Cup going on right now. Dominating is out right now. He is, I can't even fucking say it for the straight face, bro. I don't know. Like, so like he's had some great games, and I can't diss on him right now. He's playing good basketball. But like it'd be against Cuba or like someone. There's no disrespect to those guys, but like it's not against like Spain or France. It's Cuba. It's like it's guys that like, and I get that like these are qualifier games. You got to do what you got to do here, but it's just like respectfully, like the U.S. going up against Germany or China, like they're playing guys. Shout out my dude Aiden. I mean, keep balling out. I mean, I would love to see this translate into the regular season. I just like that is just one thing with Aiden that has always been an issue. And if I'm honest with you, I'm about done with it. I can't believe we didn't move him this offseason. That is like that was the first move that I was making. And we still somehow worked around to move all these pieces around him and still keep him on the team. Hopefully he takes this as like we need to get this done now. We're running out of time, and honestly, I hate saying that because like you can't put a time frame on this type of stuff. But like honestly, with how he plays, we're running out of time. We could easily get a championship, and I feel like it's crazy to say that, but like with adding Bradley Beal. And I think the only thing is like we need to get a little bit more depth. But I would personally like to see a I don't know, because Bol I think is a good pickup, and that's a good backup for DA. But also I feel like that you could have them play on the floor together, and you're also going to make a new look of the Suns that no team's ever had to deal with, and that's going to give us an opportunity to use Bol with his athleticism and his basketball skill that everyone just seems to overlook. And we're going to be better. I know that and as a Suns fan, it's like crazy to like even like think about like playoff runs and stuff like that. But even given our past couple of years, and I'm still thinking about it. I think that we can make a good run. It's just I didn't know what DA we're gonna have the first day out there. If we're not going to have dominating, we're not going to have 2020 playoffs Aiton, finals Aiton, I don't want him. Move him. I'll take anybody at this point. Give me Marvin Bagley. Give me Miles Turner. I really want Miles Turner. I've been manifesting that so much. I really want that to happen. But like, give me somebody that like I can buy into. Because otherwise, this is just not going to work for me. That being said, guys, thank you guys for joining me for an episode today. It's a very quick episode. I wanted just to hit a few points, and I feel like I did that. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Follow us on our socials, and we got active on all our socials a lot more. Honestly, guys, thank you so much for rocking with us. It's been a journey. I know that like there's times that life just pulls us away. Honestly, I love my kids to death. That my kids come first. That's just what it is. Love you guys as well. Thank you guys for rocking with us. I'll see you guys next time. Be a lookout on our socials because I will be at the D-backs Rangers game tonight, and we will have some content for it. I think it's going to be a good night for me. It's going to be a good night to get out of the house, but I honestly think that this game will be good for both teams. Probably like to see the Rangers win this to solidify their West stance to hopefully win it. I'll put some money on that. Being said, guys, thank you guys. We'll see you guys next time.